Hey, what's good, people? Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen podcast. Today's going to be a special episode. I'm going to be sitting down with a good friend of mine by the name of Anno Domino, who is a veteran international producer who's been in the game for a long time. But what makes him special is that he's the only one. Him and a business partner of his called Gabe Schillinger have been the only two people on planet Earth to have sold over $1 million worth of beats. And they have training. They have a course that they've put together teaching, and giving back to the producer community. So I felt very obliged to have him on my podcast. What I'm very excited about is the fact that I'm also giving away this training to one or two lucky subscribers on the channel. For more instructions on what you need to do, you guys need to stick around and watch the entire episode. And then at the end, I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get yourself access into this amazing training.
I guess.
Yeah, man.
Just trying to keep busy, do work, keep sane.
How's it going there in LA, man, with this COVID-19 issue that we're having? How are you guys keeping up? How are you handling this whole thing, man?
So far so good. I mean, everyone's on lockdown at the moment, so nobody can go outside unless you want to buy groceries or go to the pharmacy. So it's been kind of claustrophobic a little bit, having to stay indoors for 7 weeks now. But, everyone's just doing the best they can. Everyone's working from home. Everyone's trying to exercise at home, do everything from home, basically.
That is...
How about you guys?
Yo, man. I mean, for us, it was also very claustrophobic. I mean, our government really moved quickly on the whole thing because we kind of had I'd say a little edge over you guys, because we're kind of delayed. It came a bit later, so we're kind of aware that there's something of that sort coming our way. So we kind of were more prepared, but still, we're under lockdown as we speak. So, but it's just crazy seeing the reports and what's happening, especially in New York and LA and all these epicenters in the US, and obviously your president with all his statements, and it's kind of like a clown. So it's a circus out there, man. It's crazy.
Don't get me started on the president. We'll be just talking for the next hour.
But hey, man. Well, first of all, I want to say, thank you for coming through to the Chef's Kitchen. My name is Omen. I'm like a veteran producer in South Africa. Worked with a lot of best of the best. So, and then obviously this is my new evolution, with this podcast and me trying to give back to, the community back at home. So kind of like what you've done for the internet, scene, so to speak, you're a veteran in that space, and I wanted to find out, for a guy that came from Germany and coming and dominating that space and now having done what's never been done before, how did that come about?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I think what you're doing is really cool, and I really love the South Africa music scene. There's so much talent coming out from there, so it's really exciting to see that development.
Who do you know? What have you?
Yeah, so like you said,
what have you heard? Like, what have you heard from South Africa? I'm keen to know. What do you know? What have you?
Oh, it's funny. I actually have a bunch of South African artists rapping on my beats, so they send me tracks all the time. So I know like a little bit about the local hip hop scene and things like that.
That's dope, man. Who did you work with?
I feel like there's
the names?
A lot of innovation and mainly like small independent artists. Nobody big that people would know in South Africa.
Okay.
But if you guys want to reach out, I'm here.
No, definitely. Yeah, man. No, but, continue, man. Continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I got no worries, man. No worries. I got started with music maybe 17 years ago or something like that. So I've been doing it for a long time. And because I was out there in this tiny little village in Germany, I didn't really have any first-hand connections to the music industry as such, right? Because back then, in 17 years ago in the early 2000s, everything was just focused on the US market. All the hip-hop artists that I wanted to work with were out there. So the only way for me to get in touch with people and try and do work was to use the internet, right? And at the time, I would just use sites like MySpace and SoundClick to start building relationships and networking. And this was like way back when MySpace was first popular, where you could actually hit up an artist, like a big artist, and they would actually reply to you. So obviously those days are kind of over now. But back then it was super cool. You know, you could just network with people, send them some demos, and if they like your stuff, maybe they'll work with you. I guess to some extent, the modern equivalent is like Instagram, right? I hear stories still from producers just hitting up big artists on Instagram, and sometimes they'll hit them back. So, but yeah, that was my way into the industry. And when I got started, I was under the impression, like most producers, that the way to be successful as a producer is to work with a big artist, right? To get a placement. And then I realized, like, I got a couple placements, and I realized that game is super frustrating, because often these artists, they'll just hold your beats hostage for like years or something, deciding if they want to use them or not. And then if you do get a placement, it could be years before you get paid out any royalties. And those like royalty checks, they might be great when they first come out, but by like, you know, year 2 or something, they're drying up, right, pretty fast. So unless you have a constant stream of hits coming out, it's really hard to, you know, sustain yourself with that kind of a strategy. So that's when I got really into internet marketing and just building my own platform and selling beats online. And I was kind of lucky in a way that I rode that initial wave of online producers. I was one of the first guys to, I guess, put like a little, do you remember those like PayPal buttons you could just embed on MySpace pages and SoundCloud pages? So
you know, to be honest with you, I mean, obviously, you know, with the US and, you know, developed countries, you guys were way more advanced in terms of, especially like online digital marketing. We're still pursuing your traditional, you know, methods, like, you know, either you push on the streets, you get big enough, the labels put you on, and then you know, you're open to that network of, you know, your traditional TV, print, and the works, you know. So, and then obviously internet access was also very limited, because I mean, then it was expensive, and there wasn't too many people. I mean, we're still, you know, trying to dial up, you're still dialing up, and those are the methods to connect to the internet. So the access was very, very limited. So that type of hustle that's not something that we were kind of focused on initially, you know. So
how's it today though? I feel like, you know, with the internet becoming so popular, it's democratizing and internationalizing the music industry, right?
Definitely.
So I'm sure lots of South African producers are doing the same thing, selling online, right?
Definitely. Everybody now, I mean, now it's the norm now. It's that's the future, and so many people have. I mean, we have one of our guys called Casper in your vest. I don't know if you were familiar with him, but he kind of came in on that whole independent model, but mobilizing masses of people using social media. I mean, he's the first one to actually even fill up a stadium, and which was something that was unheard of. You know what I'm saying? He did like 3. It's like a whole series now. He started with this one particular venue that took 20,000 people, and you must know, for a small country like South Africa, that's massive. So he filled 20,000 people, and he mobilized all these people using, you know, Twitter, Instagram, and all those platforms, and traditional media would jump on. But he wasn't affiliated to any major record companies. And then he was also selling independently. He had gone platinum on his own using, you know, the different ways and stuff, you know. So
yeah,
you know, when you look at that, and you look at him and how he managed to do that using social media, using the internet, it was really amazing. I mean, his last show, F&B, which is like the biggest stadium, that's when we invite guys like your Michael Jackson or your Lady Gaga or your Rihanna's. Those are the stadiums that they go, or your Justin Bieber's. Those are the stadiums that are catered for huge international acts. That's 60,000 packs, you know, like people coming through, and he managed to fill that too. So that was incredible, you know. So it opened us up to see, to know, like, hey man, actually this is happening. And now this disease is also opening up more opportunities, forcing people to use the internet. You know, streaming has become increasingly a viable source right now. I mean, people thought, we're gonna just ease into this whole thing. Now it's like we're right thrown into it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, and the exciting thing is that right now, even though all this craziness is happening in the world, but if you think about it, everyone's at home, everyone's locked into their computer, streaming music, listening to music, trying to discover new music. So in a way, like the silver lining is that now is like the best time in history ever to actually build your platform and start really doubling down on being a self-made artist.
Definitely. I think, one of my things was that even with the podcast, I was like, that's one of the things I thought I needed. That's a reinvention from my point of view, from my brand, to say, I need to take that route. I need to, find ways. And I've been doing a lot of research and trying to understand, because, with digital marketing, it's a very complex, it's very, very rich subject matter to tackle. There's so many things that are involved. And through the my research, then I came across what you guys were doing, you and Gabe, and that really just a lot of things went off in my head. I was like, oh wow. Which leads me to this question is, in music it's very tough. How do you find that balance using digital marketing because it's easy with a product. Like I could sell supplements, for instance, you sell supplements, exactly who your target market is, how to target them. But for music, it's very subjective, and it's not like a need per se. In business, say find a need and then fill it. But with music, how do you bridge that balance? How do you guys do it? For starters, go ahead.
First of all, the nice thing about a digital product is that your overheads are small and it's very easy to fulfill, right? You were talking about supplements. If you want to sell supplements, you got to have a supplier, you have to ship it to the customer, you have to have fulfillment centers, you have to have all this customer support and stuff. The nice thing about a digital product like music or beats is that you can offer it literally instantly. Like right now, I can put a beat online, somebody can buy it, they can pay me with PayPal. The entire process is automated and instant, right? So that's pretty powerful, first of all. Secondly, in terms of finding your audience, that's actually the first step when really selling anything, is understanding who you're catering to, right? Because so many producers and artists, they go way too broad, right? They feel like their target audience is music fans or something like that, right? But you really have to understand, who are you serving personally with your music? Maybe literally think about this person that you're trying to cater to as a physical person, and in your head start describing him, filling out some of his characteristics, because it really helps to actually nail down your voice and the way you speak, the way you put out your marketing content, your social media content, always thinking about this one person. So for example, it might be maybe I make boom bap hip hop beats, and maybe my audience is like 30-something-year-olds who have nostalgia for Wu-Tang Clan and Ninth Wonder, and maybe their motivations are different because they're a little older, so they have a family, they have a kid. So you want to channel those kind of things into your messaging, right? Maybe if I'm a trap producer, my audience will be a little younger, and maybe I'm catering more to like college kids. Maybe I'm talking to somebody whose motivations are more to do with like, how can I turn music into making money, that kind of a thing. And then obviously I speak to them in a different way too. So actually having and focusing on and visualizing that customer avatar is kind of the first step to understanding how to market your product. And then once you have that, it's really important to be consistent. So always just like imagine that person and always feel like you're talking directly to them. And that's how you really connect with an audience and find your crowd and build your tribe.
You guys, have done the unheard of. Like, you've just surpassed, over $1 million in sales with this particular, model that you're talking about now. How did that come? I know that when Gabe kind of came in contact with you, you were like the pioneer. You found this. This was already happening in the traditional digital marketing, internet marketing businesses are using these models. But then here you are now taking this and bringing it into the beats. How did you even come up, for instance, ClickFunnels? How did you even come across ClickFunnels and finding a way to kind of integrate it into your whole model?
Yeah, I'd love to take credit for everything, but the truth is I literally just looked at what was working in other industries. And then I just took that model and adapted it for specifically selling beats to artists. Just to back up for a second, the strategy that Gabe and I used to make those kind of results, you talked about making $1 million. We do that through a system called a sales funnel. And basically what a sales funnel is just a very simplified version and a very streamlined version of this traditional kind of website, right? And the problem with websites as they exist with a lot of producers right now, for example, when they're selling beats through a beat store, like BeatStars, Airbit, stuff like that. The problem with that is that it's kind of outdated. There's a ton of distractions for the customer. On a website, you have like menu options, social links, a store with like 1,000 beats, and then like links to the charts, links to news, and all kinds of stuff. So a sales funnel kind of takes what works best about the transaction process and just distills it into literally having the customer take just one action on every page, right? So sales funnel, it starts usually with an opt-in page. So the way you entice people, first of all, to get to the opt-in page is by offering something for free, right? Providing value up front. So many producers and artists are just focused on making a sale right away, like making a sale. Hey, check out my beat. Do you want to buy it? Just like, assaulting artists basically with trying to make that sale right away. But by offering something for free up front, like some free beats or a free ebook or something like that, you're going to get, first of all, like 10 to 20 times as many people actually going to your site, right? Or going to your funnel. So that's the first step, right? Offer something for free, provide value up front. And then they come to the opt-in page. In order to get the free thing, they enter their email address. And the nice thing about that is once they enter their email address to get the free thing, they're now forever in your database. So anytime in the future, you can market to them, right? They're not just a random visitor to your website that might click around and then leave forever. So that's very, very powerful, having that person inside your community. And then the next step in the sales funnel, once they enter their email to get the free thing, is they get forwarded to what's called a special offer page. And on that page, you're not offering what most producers term a special offer, which would just be like, buy one, get one free on beats or something like that. But you're actually putting together something that's extremely valuable and irresistible to your specific customer avatar, right? That guy that we talked about earlier. So for example, it might be a package of beats specific to the genre that he likes, plus a mixing and mastering PDF, plus a shout out on your Instagram, plus, let's say, some contact lists to radio DJs or something like that. Now that sounds way more valuable than just giving a guy like a beat lease for a price, right? So Definitely. They're much more likely to actually make that sale, give you that money, and also you just gave them something for free. So in psychology, the law of reciprocity says they're much more likely to want to give you something in return. That's kind of like the basic premise of a sales funnel, right?
Definitely.
So just wanted to clarify that.
That is, I'm glad because usually, like, I know you guys are also you've got training in this whole thing, and that's part of your other business. So obviously people sometimes are more reluctant to kind of share the model, and obviously people have to go and enroll in a course. And how's that going, by the way? Because I see obviously you've got there's two types of groups now. The others going, no, you guys are ruining the industry, and and then there's a group that says, oh my God, you guys just day and night switch on my entire career since I've been a producer. How's that going along? Because you guys are teaming up with guys like your Curtis King, I don't know if Pain One is also part of that. But you've got like a lot of prominent internet dudes with a lot of presence online that are just messing with you guys. How's that going?
Yeah, first of all, you mentioned we do these like free trainings, and actually I can give your community the link. It's a free training every Thursday that we do, actually explaining in more detail what you and I are talking about. Okay. So definitely go check that out if you guys are interested to learn more. But yeah, the problem is with the way that producers conduct business right now on those outdated websites is that their entire sales strategy is literally just posting content on YouTube or on Instagram or something like that, and then having like a link somewhere on their profile or in the video description saying like, click here if you want to buy this beat. So the problem with that is that, first of all, you're trying to make a sale right away, which is a really unhealthy way to start a relationship with a potential artist. So not many people are even going to see that or click that link because they're just not interested to make a sale right away. So if you replace that for free content, way more people are going to see that, be intrigued, be interested, check it out, right? And then also you're not directing them to this outdated website where they might get distracted, you know, that has a really low buy rate. A bunch of people will just click away and never actually check out any of your stuff or buy it. Instead, you're really streamlining it to collect their emails so you can market to them and then provide them with a special offer that's just tailored to them. That's like irresistible, right? So some people that see the model that Gabe and I are using and teaching other producers, and they don't understand it, right? They don't really get that concept, and they just see it as us giving away a bunch of beats for like 30, 40 bucks or something like that, because they don't understand the value that we're providing and the reason we're doing it, which is, first of all, providing great content, and secondly, getting more sales in return. But the guys who actually watch our trainings, who actually understand marketing, who understand the principles that we're putting in place, which, by the way, we're not just making this stuff up. This is like marketing principles that go back like hundreds of years, you know, things like providing value up front, things like nurturing a customer, building a relationship. Those kind of things are not just things that we're grabbing out of thin air. You know, these are solid marketing concepts, and we're just trying to pull that sort of more serious marketing into the world of producers, because producers are selling more and more online. So we really want to educate them on how to do it the right way, right?
Sure.
So that's where we're at. I mean, there's still like people who don't understand it, who still hate on the system, but we have so many producers who are literally implementing the system, making thousands of dollars right out of the gate. We have, you know, people like Wishmaster Beats came to us, DJ Payne One, Amido Beats, Curtis King, all these guys. You know, these are influencers and big guys in the producer community, and they're already smart guys because they sort of rose to the top of the traditional or the old school way of selling beats, right? So they see this new system and they're realizing that this is way more effective and better than what they're doing now, and that's where they're coming over to us.
Now, you know, it's all great and well to, you know, to do something like that. Like, I mean, you know, for instance, a guy like myself trying to, you know, figure all this whole thing out by myself. But I know through the research I've done is that, number one, I mean, ClickFunnels, even as a company, the CEO, Russell Brunson, he's also, I mean, he talks about the avatar and appealing to, you know, the ideal customer that he wants to work with. And part of that is charging people different tiers. Like, for you guys, did you guys just get on ClickFunnels and then boom, there you are, $1 million in sales? I mean, I know it's a gradual process each year. How was that process? I mean, the reason why I'm saying that is I'm just trying to highlight a certain point. So I want to find out, did you guys also go through his sales funnel? You know, the value ladder, as you guys put it. Is that how you guys managed to get to that level where you now, you know, $1 million in excess in sales? Is that how you guys did it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Russell is a super smart guy. If anyone is watching this right now, they don't know who Russell Brunson is, I suggest just go check out some of his free videos, his content. He has a bunch of books as well, like .com Secrets, Traffic Secrets, that are actually free. You just pay for shipping, so you might as well get those and read them. They'll give you a really, really great primer on marketing. The cool thing about sales funnels is that you're not necessarily locked into something like ClickFunnels, right? I think ClickFunnels is basically a software that lets you build funnels, but it's not the only software out there. What's really important is the underlying marketing knowledge and concepts, right?
The principles,
you can build a funnel with like WordPress, Samcart, lead pages, whatever you want to do. But Gabe and I, we use ClickFunnels because we think it's the best software, the most comprehensive software. So that's really important to point out, because I know some people also don't like the fact that ClickFunnels is a little more expensive. It's like $97 a month or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
they kind of feel locked in.
Trial that you can, try it out with and whatnot. But there's like free versions or free variations that you can build a funnel to. The most important thing is like the knowledge, like understanding why sales funnels work, how they work, and then you can recreate that in lots of different environments.
That's dope.
So that's pretty important. Now, in terms of the funnel that me and Gabe have, so we receive, each of us, we have an award from ClickFunnels that they give out to merchants that sell over $1 million worth of goods through just one sales funnel. So for each of us, we built our funnel solely selling beats, right? So $1 million just from selling beats, which kind of like shatters the glass ceiling of what most online producers feel like is possible, right? So that's been kind of fun and exciting, obviously. And yeah, we just can't wait to have that third producer that we coach to get to that level. So that's going to be super exciting, I think, in the coming months and years. But the way that we structure our funnel specifically is the entire $1 million just came from a single low entry offer, right? So usually we'll do something like 20 beats for $29, and then we'll have various order bumps and upsells as well, which is basically an additional offer that gets shown to a customer after they buy the main thing. And the nice thing about adding those in is that a pretty high percentage, like 20-30% of people who buy the first offer are probably going to buy the second thing too, because they feel like they just got such a great deal, and you've already built a bit of a relationship, and you've offered them such, amazing content that they want to carry on purchasing from you, as long as the offers are good and relevant to them. So that's how you boost the sort of average cart value of everyone who goes through your funnel. So most producers, they just see the funnel and they see like, oh, what you're selling $20 for 30, you're selling 20 beats for $30 or something like that. Like, how do you even make money? But the point is, that same guy who's going through the funnel might buy like 2 more bundles for the same price, and he might add like unlimited license upgrade to each one of those bundles. So he might end up spending $200 or something on you. And then all of a sudden that looks pretty lucrative, right?
Definitely.
And honestly, that's where like the big money is made in the funnel, is with the upsells, also the retargeting, and then creating new offers for the same clients once they've gone through the first offer. So, you could have this like evergreen funnel set up, which is constantly running, automated, where you're getting new leads, new customers all the time. But then all those people who opt into your email list, maybe a couple times a year, you can market like a special one-off, like 1 week, a launch of some kind of a product, like a new beat package or a new instrumental album or whatever it is. And that's how you sort of keep your tribe engaged and keep providing them like value, keep providing them like amazing offers. And then the lifetime value of your customer becomes pretty high, right?
That's amazing, man. So, the reason why I even posed, because I put Russell Brunson into the mix, was that, people can go out there and find the information themselves, but there's a big difference between somebody that does that and keeps hitting all these walls than somebody that gets mentorship, which is, I think that's the route you guys took. And these days, let's be honest, mentorship costs money, and I know Russell probably charges like $25,000 or something like that, just, to get to that next level. But obviously that's for people who are already seeing results with what he's doing, and they're willing to take their businesses to the next level. I think what is his I think he charges, maybe the highest is what, like $100,000 or something like that, or $1 million.
It can get pretty crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I know my business partner Gabe, he's in Russell's $25,000 a year coaching program.
Okay.
But the point isn't like how much it costs. The point is, what's your return on investment?
Yes.
I mean, Gabe, he pays $25,000, and last year with his funnel, he made a couple $100,000, right? So that's a pretty awesome return on investment, I would say, because of the stuff he's learning from Russell and in that environment. So, I mean, one thing that's really helped me personally as an entrepreneur is not really thinking about expenses, but thinking about return on investment. Like, I've easily spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my education, on courses, on going to seminars, books, all kinds of stuff. And also hundreds of thousands on like testing, running Facebook ads, doing YouTube ads, all that kind of stuff. But the point is that, I made 10 times more back. So it's not really an expense at that point. It's an investment into your future, right? And I think a lot of, new entrepreneurs and new producers, they kind of have this reluctance to spend any money. But the point is, you're not spending it, you're actually investing it into yourself and your business. So that's something like a mental block that you kind of have to get through at some point.
It's crazy, man. And then with your courses, how does it work though? I mean, I know what is it running for, like $400, right? How does it work though? Because you're saying you've got all these prominent internet producers. How are you running the whole thing? And so let's say, for instance, I sign up on your webinar to one of your courses. How does that whole thing work? How does the training work?
Yeah, so the webinar itself is completely for free. It's literally 2 to 3 hours of just straight education and knowledge. And Gabe and I just try to provide as much value as we can so that people watching it actually understand funnels they understand the opportunity, and if they want to, they can literally just walk away and build a funnel. Now, the course that we offer, which is completely optional, but for anybody who really wants to deep dive and get really deep into funnels, we actually give them our exact same funnel template that's, made each of us over $1 million each. So literally we'll give you the template. You just load it into your ClickFunnels with one click. We also give you a training course. It's officially it's a 6-week program, but we actually give you access to everything. So if you want to, you can do it back to back, like overnight. And some producers do, they go crazy. They watch every single video and then they build a funnel within like 24 hours and start making money. But the course really shows you like how to build a funnel, how to optimize it. It teaches you all about like the customer avatar, it teaches you about, marketing knowledge. It gives you also email templates. So you want to make sure that you're following up with those people that give you their emails in a really structured way. So we literally give you like the templates, the subject lines, everything to use to really engage with people and make those sales. And there's just a ton more. For example, there's like a beat traffic course where we show you how to get more people through social media to your funnel. We have a sort of members group as well. So if you're a part of the course, you buy the course, one of the bonuses is to actually get into a group with people like Wishmaster, Amido, Curtis King, Busyworks Beats. All these people hang out in a private group, and you can ask people questions. You can network with other producers. We have just a ton of stuff actually thinking about it. We also have like a community asset list that you can add to your funnel as bonuses. So for example, there's like ebooks that you can use. There's beat packages from various producers that you can use for free just to add to your offer, to create that really special offer.
Oh,
nice. And it's just really an opportunity for producers who want to go super deep into next level beat selling to get on board with that movement.
And then this training, is it like, so once you pay this $400, it's a once-off price. It's not a recurring fee, and you just got access, a lifetime access to all this training and a bit of mentorship.
It's just a one-time thing.
Okay.
Gabe and I, at this point in our careers, we've made plenty of money. I've actually got another funnel selling sound kits to producers that's also made over $1 million. I have a real estate company. So at this point, I'm not worried about making sales. It's not about me. I'm worried about other producers and helping them to be self-made entrepreneurs and be successful. So that's why Gabe and we want to provide as much value as we can, at a price that still makes sense to us, because we're obviously dedicating our lives and our time to actually educating and helping producers, and just provide as much value as possible, because honestly, we just want to see more producers up on that stage picking up their award for making $1 million. And that's what really motivates and drives us at this point.
With an artist, how do artists then do the same thing? With beats, it's also kind of like it's a product. So I need beats for me to make music. So it's a need. So as an artist, I'm providing something. You can do it away with not listening to my music. Your life can still go on, How do artists then use these principles to also get to those levels where they're making that kind of money using sales funnels?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. As you say, obviously the need basis is a little bit different. A lot of people think of music as like entertainment and maybe discretionary. But the thing is, first of all, no matter what your strategy is for promoting your music, promoting your content, selling your content, using a sales funnel is just way more efficient. So hands down, selling through a sales funnel compared to whatever you're doing right now is going to end up resulting in more sales for you. So that's first of all. I'm not saying that every artist using a sales funnel is suddenly going to make $1 million. That would be unrealistic. But wherever your sales are at, implementing some form of a sales funnel system is definitely going to get you to the next level. That being said, for artists, there's still a ton of ways to leverage this kind of content. For example, you could create a sales funnel selling an album or a mixtape, which would be the most obvious thing. But you can also cater to your fans and your audience in other ways. So for example, you could cater to other artists' needs by providing them, let's say like a video course on how to promote their content or how to create a sales funnel for artists. Or you could do an ebook, or you could do a merch funnel for your fans. You could do like a t-shirt, and then maybe the upsell would be like a signed t-shirt or that kind of stuff. There's like so many creative ways that you can use this kind of a system and strategy and still boost your income and create something really cool. I told you guys earlier, like I don't just sell beats through a funnel. I have SoundKit funnel. Actually, one of the producers in our course, Wishmaster Beats, he created a funnel selling custom-made sneakers because he wanted to. So the same funnel template and the same funnel knowledge and marketing principles, they can be applied to sell pretty much anything. You're not locked into just selling beats. You know, you can do it as an artist. You can do it as a producer selling sound kits. You could do it as just a regular guy trying to sell, I don't know, supplements or t-shirts or whatever it is.
No, that's amazing, man. I think, you know, what you guys have done, man, is really a revolutionary in a sense, you know. I mean, obviously it's been there, like you said, but just the cleverness of just adapting. And it's like you like prophets. It's like you almost saw this thing and you guys are so ahead of the curve now because you're already in that system. Now people have to now adapt because of now with these pandemic, with the COVID-19 pandemic happening, now everybody's scrounging to learn how to, and it's a huge steep learning curve. I can imagine how long it must have taken you to actually learn and implement these systems that now you're offering through this course. And you know, it's really amazing. And what I want to do is bring that knowledge back to, you know, these parts of the world and really kind of, you know, pioneer that, especially for South Africa, you know. And I'm hoping that, you know, we could really open that dialogue and just do so much more, man. Like it's really amazing. I mean, when I remember when I used to see your beats on SoundClick, Anno Domino, and even modern producers, yeah, man, we, you know, would see stuff, but we couldn't afford it, man. Like, but you see your staffs, you know, your kids. I'm like, oh, okay. It was more like you, like more boom bap, you know. You'd probably, you know, a friend of mine, Amo, he loves your stuff, man. Like, I mean, like, he's into, you know, that boom bap, you know, that type of fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's been a pleasure, bro. I think
is like about the boom bap, just to kind of reiterate that. Even if you're like a niche producer and you feel
I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's your preferred style of. It doesn't matter what genre. Yeah.
But like, it's not really like a popular style of music right now. You know, all the kids are listening to like pop, trap, that kind of stuff. But the point is, like, using a sales funnel, even with like a niche that you're in, you can still be super successful as long as you really understand your customer and cater to them and give them what they want. You know, that's really the key.
That is it, man. Thank you so much, man. I think, you know, I'll post that link obviously to the webinar when I put this out, and then we can talk about that giveaway as well and see how, you know, we can actually leverage this further.
Yeah, I love that, man. I'd love to connect with the audience and you know, give something back to the community in South Africa as well. I think that's really cool.
Hey, you guys made it to the end. Without further ado, let me not even waste your time. This is exactly what you need to do, okay? There's a link in the description. It's basically a link to a webinar training, so you guys need to register for that. The first 2 or 3 people that will send those quick enough will be the ones that will get access into the training, and I will announce those winners on the next episode where I sit down and speak to Gabe as well, who has sold $1 million worth of beats. You know what you need to do. I will see you next time. Peace out.